Winning Motor Trend Truck of the Year 3 times in a row, that had never been done before. Then again, neither had a 12-inch touchscreen or 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Never been done before. It's just kind of our thing.
Flames TV live at the Intermission, brought to you by Ram Truck, winner of Motor Trend Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row. Brendan Parker alongside Cory Sarich. And Cory, kind of a tale of two periods here so far for the Calgary Flames and Winnipeg Jets. Flames come out 2-0 in the first, and Winnipeg answers with a couple of quick ones here early in the second. What did you make of the middle frame here for both sides of it?
Well, it was definitely Winnipeg coming out with a little more jump in that period, but the Calgary Flames, they had a little nap there at the start of the second period, which they can't afford to be doing right now. Yeah. Winnipeg quickly turned the tide with a couple of pinpoint shots, and I'd like to say that, yeah, there were a couple of really nice Winnipeg goals, but there was a couple of big Calgary mistakes out there, and they've had some mistakes consistently throughout their last few games, and they've been biting the Calgary Flames, and they've got to find a way to eliminate those from their play. Well,
let's take a look at those two Winnipeg goals, and we'll focus specifically on that first one, and it comes on the very first shift of that second period, about 34 seconds in, and you kind of see some wall work here, but a wide open Mason Appleton in the high slot.
Yeah, you've got 5 Flames back, almost in position, but Milan Lucic has got to not lose track of the slot. He gets drifting out wide on this play. Appleton's got all the time in the world to take that shot, and then I think Lucic, trying to make up for his lack of position, gets a piece of that puck and puts it by Rittich.
A little deflection there past Rittich, and then this one comes from a defenseman. Logan Stanley gets his first goal of the season, and once again in a prime shooting position here for the big D-man.
Yeah, you can see again, I hate to point it out, but Milan, at the top of your screen here, just gets lost, and he doesn't know where his defenseman is. The defenseman takes the middle of the ice. It's a nice pass out front, and from our vantage point, Stanley makes no mistake on that shot. That was a goal scorer's goal, even though he doesn't have one this year.
I know. I was going to say not a lot of totals there, but making it look like he's had probably about 10 of those this season.
If you're only going to get 1 or 2, you better make him a good one.
Make him count, bar down, and Logan Stanley. That's a nice finish by him. And obviously, after that, we kind of noted that there was a big moment. The penalty kill for the Calgary Flames. So, we'll show the couple of penalties here, but the fact that the Flames were able to kill off 2 penalties in the middle of that period seemed to kind of stabilize things a little bit for them.
Yeah, things weren't great, and we won't say the penalty that Mangiapane took was great either. He lays the smack down there, and they can't have penalties like that right now, the Calgary Flames. Milan Lucic took a bad one last game. Mangiapane gets one this game. But let's stay on topic here.
Yeah.
They did have a couple of good penalty kills that get them through this period. And let's look at the bright spot. It's 2-2 right now. So that seemed to settle the Calgary Flames. Mark Giordano helping out Dave Rittich here with a big save. Gets a piece of this one. Yeah. I don't know if that thing's going to go in or not.
It's on its edge. Yeah,
they have another solid kill right away after that. It helps take some momentum away from the Winnipeg Jets, puts it in Calgary's favor, and here's your captain making a nice play on that penalty kill as well, selling out with a big block shot.
Yeah, leading the way, which is fantastic. We talk about that puck. I mean, on its side, you're that close to being down a goal, but instead, as you point out, you generate some momentum, and that's kind of the way that those special teams and how big a role they can play in this game. Right now, the Flames have a power play goal, and their penalty kill is perfect so far, but kind of something head coaches talk about all the time, and how special teams can dictate a hockey game, don't they?
It's very evident in this game tonight. You see Calgary got that one at the end of the second. They go into the dressing room, they're feeling really good. And they come out, they have a lapse, they get scored on a couple times. If that third or fourth one goes in on that penalty kill, she's a long road back tonight for the Calgary Flames. But they're in it.
Yeah.
It's even, and kudos to the Killers. They got the job done.
No question about it. And before we move on, I would ask you about one of those other defensemen who's kind of played a role tonight in his first game. But, Mark Giordano, as we know, he plays a big role offensively, too, for this team when they're going. And he's got goals now in 2 of his last 3 games. But, kind of similar, they've talked about the shot mentality. But is it about getting the lanes right now, or, a couple of breaks? Or what are you seeing right now from the captain and his ability to get shots through from the point?
Well, that's just it. I feel like earlier in the year, maybe Gio's squeezing the stick a little bit and not getting pucks through the net. even when Gio's on his game, if he can't get the puck directly on the net or can't find a stick in front, end boards, he's a guy that's utilized them throughout his career. Little angles, making sure that puck pops back out where your forwards can retrieve it. Gio's the ultimate competitor. I think the only thing, I mean, I've played a lot of hockey with him over the course of the years. His only knock is that he wants it so bad and he tries so hard that sometimes he tangles himself up a little bit out there. But you can't fault the guy.
The effort, yeah.
You can't fault the leader for giving it his all. And tonight, again, we saw that block shot on the penalty kill. He's doing a fantastic job.
Well, interesting couple of line changes tonight. Juuso Välimäki, one of those guys that comes out tonight, and Michael Stone draws in. And it's been a while for Michael Stone, but you know, I think over the course of his career, come to expect certain things from Michael Stone. His first game since February 25th. What have you liked about number 26 here tonight?
He's come out tonight in this game, and we'll maybe get to see.
I should mention, yeah, this is Stockton, I guess. Yeah, he's played 4 games with the Heat this season, just before rejoining the Flames, and scored a pair of goals. So there you see. Now here's a look at the save that he made against the Laval Rocket here. So he's got a little goaltender in him there too, apparently.
Hey, he's jack of all trades.
No kidding, yeah.
Well, this is a guy who's been fairly invaluable for the Calgary Flames, and he's been under contract, out of a contract, under contract again, and he's just one of those guys that comes, he puts on his boots and he goes to work. He's got a rocket of a shot. He can be physical, as we've seen tonight. He makes smart little plays. Here's just a simple little bank off the boards in the first period. His team's off to the races, and this is what he's best known for right here, hammering pucks. So Michael Stone, I can see why Darryl would put him in tonight. He adds some solidity to the back end. You've got some young guys that are in situations where they've had a lot of ice time, like Välimäki this year. Shillington's had to go a couple of times. Sometimes you need a veteran presence back there to settle your other defensemen, just to allow them to go, because they know that there's some stability. So Michael Stone can add that for the Calgary Flames. For
sure, and good to see, as you mentioned, obviously comes back here on the tryout originally and then re-signs, and good to see him get some game action. I think he's closer to 10 minutes here in ice time right now, and the 2 shots so far here tonight for the Calgary Flames. I guess maybe just for you, as we head into the third period, we've talked about stabilizing. What would you like to see here from a Calgary Flames team desperate for a victory?
Got to get through the neutral zone cleanly, put pucks behind the Winnipeg Jets, make them play a 200-foot game. And they had a physical presence at the start of the game, which I think helped them establish their lead tonight. They got away from it in the second with having to kill penalties. Yeah. They've got to get back after it. They're a good, effective team, the Calgary Flames, when they all buy in physically, but it's got to be all of them. It can't be 1 or 2. It's got to be all. Saw it in the first, got to see it in the third.
Well said. Let's take a look at the Remax 50-50 as we send you off for a third period with the teams tied up at 2. We're nearing $134,000 on the pot. That'll close here shortly, but still a few more minutes to get to calgaryflames.com/5050 to get your tickets. It is Canadian Armed Forces Appreciation Night, and we've got a third period upcoming that should be a good one, tied 2-2 after 2. The third period is next. We'll be back after the game on the postgame show.
We call it the Ram 1500 Limited. But truth be told, there's nothing limited about it. Ram 1500, winner, J.D. Power Award for Best Driver Appeal.